So I just happened to like the goal wasn't to see Mike today. Well, other than for a brief moment, I was gonna drop something off at Mike's house. I called him this
No one
morning
ever needs to see me.
to see where if he was home, and he happened to be near me, so I ended up seeing Mike. And
Is he on a scooter?
no, I was just as shocked as you might be to find out Mike was not scooting or biking, because Mike
I
also
didn't
has an
know the
electric
weather
bike.
was supposed to be that good. I didn't
I
know
didn't
the
either.
weather would be that good.
I thought it was gonna rain all
went out.
day.
Yeah.
Though, Mike, I don't know what you thought the weather was going to be, because I don't think you were necessarily dressed for rain either.
I didn't know it was going to rain either.
So what did
I
you
just
just?
saw the weather.
Did it rain at any point today?
Yeah, it was on and off for a little
It
bit.
drizzled.
Yeah.
It started bad enough that I regretted my choice of attire.
I haven't left my house on a weekend day in like 3 months probably. I like literally just sit in my house all weekend.
I mean, I pretty much just leave to get coffee or do errands or go to work. That's like pretty much what I leave the house for. But it was good to see Mike, and I will say, I think partially because of me, Mike matched my intensity of coffee intake today. How are you feeling at this point of the day, Mike? Now that you've had as much coffee as you had.
I think I'm always in a very poor state of living, so nothing's changed so far.
Okay.
I feel as though one day it's going to hit me like a ton of bricks. It'll probably kill me.
That's fair.
So I won't notice it until right before I die.
As he starts to chug a Mountain Dew.
Yeah. And for reference, Mike actually had we might have had the same amount of caffeine. You just had a third beverage. I just had a second very powerful beverage. So yeah, Mike, that additional sugar that you're chugging on top of all that caffeine might not be the best choice.
Whatever. Future Michael's problem.
I did bring to Mike's attention. I don't know how. I really don't know how Mike didn't know this, and I'm gonna assume just by association that Dom also doesn't know about this because Mike doesn't. And I haven't actually looked into it too deeply. But
To be fair, maybe Dom does
We
know.
have a
And he told
Unimind?
me, and then I immediately forgot.
Do we have a Unimind?
Yeah.
Do we have a
We all saw
Unimind?
the kernels, right?
Brendan just assumes that since you don't know, that I don't know.
well, I think in this specific scenario, just based on the subject matter, I'll just ask you then. Did you know that they do like very limited Mountain Dew flavors that are only available on Mountain Dew's website?
So at some point I probably knew that.
Okay. So you know more than
Is
Mike,
there
right?
one? Is there one right now?
I have no idea. I think at least the most recent one that I was made aware of, because I'm a Mountain Dew sicko like the two of you. I don't really drink soda anymore. But someone else had mentioned that they did a flaming hot Cheetos Mountain Dew flavor,
Oh,
and I asked
Is that
Mike
the
if
one
he had
that was
had
a
it.
contest? Mike, I definitely remember sending you a contest one at some point
See, this is
where
what I'm
you could
saying.
you could
Dom
only have it
probably-
if you
Dom probably did tell me at some point, and I just lost it.
So from what I understand, they they do either like 16 ounce or 19 ounce cans, like single. I think it's a single can that you buy of limited flavors, and they're very hard to get. And there's apparently an aftermarket for these flavors because someone that works at one of my accounts apparently buys these things, and whenever they get them, they always bring them there. And if I happen to be there, like, you want to try it? I'm like, no, I absolutely do not want to try birthday cake Mountain Dew. Like, I'm all set with that.
I'm looking at flaming hot Mountain Dew bed sheets right now online. It's like
I actually meant to look before we started. Mountain Dew birthday cake.
birthday cake kind of sound like something intriguing that I don't know if it'd be good, but I'd want to try it.
Like, I would try it if
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
at my house. I'm not trying to, like, I still wear a mask everywhere. I'm not trying to, like, pull my mask on to do that. So Mountain Dew Cake Smash.
Cake Smash. I do remember Cake Smash.
But they don't sell it in stores. These are just things you have to buy from their website, from what I understand.
So Cake Smash may have been the online one, the one that was just a contest. It may have been for like an anniversary.
I don't even know how to get to. I'm like quickly scrolling the Mountain Dew website trying to see like where
How do you buy it online?
shop beverages. Let me see.
Do you have to order like a shit ton to get delivered?
I have no idea. Oh, so you can't even order. I don't know. Mountain Dew Spark, is that in stores currently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In Major Melon, have you had these flavors?
I have not. Spark is fairly new. What was the watermelon flavor one called? I don't think that
Major
one was
melon.
Spark. I think Major Melon, that's it.
Major melon charged with watermelon.
We were originally supposed to get Riddler's Brew this year,
Ooh.
but because of a
I do
licensing
kind of remember
agreement, it never came out.
I remember seeing the promotional stuff for that.
Did you guys like?
I think I'm the only one that saw it.
I still haven't seen it yet.
What do you think, Mike?
It was good. I don't know if it's not like my favorite Batman, but it was good, solid. I think I liked it more than The Dark Knight Rises, probably.
It's a low bar, so
it is a low bar.
Pepsi and national restaurant chain Applebee's have partnered to bring pop drinkers a special edition flavor of Mountain Dew known as Dark Berry Bash.
Oh, that sounds good.
Looks like you got to go to Applebee's if you want to get that.
Talking about Applebee's,
I'm trying to just find.
Yeah, so Cake Smash was given to lucky winners in a sweepstakes, tweeting the funniest 2020 fails.
Interesting. So maybe these are things you can't even buy, and they're just you have to win contests or something. I don't know. There's also Mountain Dew Baja Gold. Is an upcoming pineapple flavored Mountain Dew releasing in summer 2022 with Baja Blast Zero, and Baja Mango Gem. So that one looks like it might be going to stores. There's Mountain Dew Typhoon, which was previously known as Flavor 509. This is like they have 509 fucking Mountain Dew varieties.
Flavor 509 sounds like, well, it just makes me think of 409.
Yeah,
which was the spray.
Typhoon was a Mountain Dew flavor that was a contestant in the second Dewmocracy promotion. It returned for another limited time alongside Supernova and Pitch Black during Back by Popular Demand in summer 2011.
Yeah, Dewmocracy was a crazy time.
Interesting. So I don't know. I have no idea how it works. I don't know anything about it.
Did you see Deweitos?
Like, are these chips that taste like Mountain Dew?
Oh no, it's Mountain Dew that tastes like nacho cheese.
Oh no. Would you do this? Would any of you do this?
I
would probably try it.
I think given the opportunity, I would give each of them a shot just so I could say that I've tasted
this. Is what we're gonna do at some point. Whenever the four of us are back comfortable being in the same place together, we're going to I'm gonna find a way to get a lot of these Mountain Dew flavors, and we're gonna do a nice long I don't know. We're going to do the do as a group, whatever that means. Anyways, welcome, everyone, to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we talk about Mountain Dew too much. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Sunday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing this evening?
Should I be concerned that I won't fall asleep?
Yeah, you might be a just a tad bit fucked, but you know, just play Fortnite all night, gain some levels. You get 2 weeks left in the season.
I think I'm all set. I think I've gotten to 140, so I got Future Foundation. I have nothing else.
You don't want the other spider suits?
I don't care about the others. I'm too lazy to even change whatever Spider-Man suit I think I have turned on. I think I have it set to symbiote suit, and then I have my thing set to rotate. So
the thing that stinks about the Spider-Man stuff, like Battle Pass stuff, is like in the future when we're still playing Fortnite in 3 years, it's like you can drop that, you can pop that skin on, and no one else can have it. Like you can't buy that skin. You know what I mean? So you could rock a crazy Spider-Man skin, and people will be mad and jealous, and they'll expect you to be really good at the game. It'll be like one of those like John Wick shows up, or one of those like what's the other one? Is it the skeleton? The Jonesy skeleton skin.
In a while either.
I don't know. The robot chicken thing is a level 100 one from early on.
Robot chicken? Like actual robot chicken?
There's like a
or just the skin is like a robot chicken.
It's just a robot chicken.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you have like old like skins like that, you can flex on people. It's pretty big deal. Anyways, also joining us this evening is the Fortnite father, Daddy Beavucks himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing tonight?
Good. I fucking haven't stopped playing Elden Ring. This is the first time in a while that a game has stopped me from literally touching anything else but the game itself.
So we gotta figure out Todd's the tarnished Todd or something. Is that who you are? Tarnished Todd, the fell omen. That's what you are.
I check how many hours I put into it so far, and I put I think 60 so far in like a week.
Oh wow! I don't think I have ever seen that skin done. That robot chicken skin.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
I haven't looked to see my hours. I leave the game on a lot, so I don't know if that's fucking with my hours. Like I go to the home screen of my Xbox, but the game is like, I don't know, still running in the background. I don't know if that fucks with your hours or not. I haven't looked. And then rounding us out is the Disney Daddy, Mr. Dominic 40 Dom. How are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
That you are. And tonight is a little double feature, a little two quick little episodes about the PTC Movie Club for February, which were both Dom's picks. We have up first The Wiz, and after we finish our episode on The Wiz, we'll do another quick episode on The Greatest Showman. So stick around, get ready for some musical movie gabbing. But before we even get into that, a couple of housekeeping things. We helped take place in some charity stuff over the course of the last week for Equality Texas. The donation page is still up if you do want to donate, or I don't know what you can find for VODs at this point. I don't know if things are still up or not, if you miss streams and you want to check them out. But there was a lot of great stuff, a lot of great people. We raised a little over 3,700, very close to 4,000. I think the donation page will stay up for a little bit longer, so I think we have some other bonus streams that were unlocked when we hit certain milestones, so you can look forward to a few other things. I know Jesse Vitelli, friend of the show, said he was going to do a Gilmore Girls podcast, so now he has to do that. I have to stream Babylon's Fall, unfortunately, so there's just a lot of cool things coming up. I know Kale is also going to, I believe, stream Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight in one sitting to completion. Are those 2 and 3? Which
in one sitting?
Yeah, which ones are 2 and 3?
I thought Kale was doing 3 and 4.
City is long.
City's
long. 3 and 4.
Was doing Night. Yeah, I think.
And Origin.
And Origin.
Okay. Yeah. Then there you go. Those two. I know
City is a long game.
I know they are doing 2 games in one sitting, I believe is the plan. So there's some other stuff to look forward to. That donation page again, tinyurl.com/goodpals Texas, if you would like to donate and check out the streams, see what else is there. And then this episode of the Pest Control Podcast sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore, Massachusetts, you want to get yourself something hot, something sweet, something delicious. I know Mike, myself, both had breakfast from there today, and it was Tasty Town. So head on over to Goodnight Fatty, let them know Pest Controller sent you. And if you want to know more of what Goodnight Fatty is, check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and at Good Morning Chubby. You won't be disappointed. All right. With that being said, we are going to get right into The Wiz. So if you have not seen 1978's The Wiz and you don't want to have anything about that movie ruined for you in some way, now is your chance to exit the program and come back at a later date. Anyways, without further ado.
Or if you don't know the story of the Wizard of Oz, I guess. I don't...
Well, this doesn't fully fall. I don't know. Mike and I had a discussion about. Mike and I had a longer discussion than we probably should have had earlier about both The Greatest Showman and The Wiz. But without further ado, I guess before we even get into the movie itself, it was very hard for me to find some box office budget stuff for this. So going just based off of what I could find, it seems that the budget for this movie was a cool $24 million. What do you guys think this movie did in the box office?
Considering that I never heard about this movie until Dom mentions it, I'm going to assume not well.
You got a number with that assumption?
You sure it had
Diana
Michael
Ross,
Jackson in
Michael
it?
Jackson?
Yeah,
Diana
but
Ross.
I feel like I was. I mean, wait, 1979? Maybe.
I think
October
it's a failing
1st,
on your part that you haven't heard of it.
1978.
I'll say 25 million.
Okay. Mike?
Oh, 78. So to go back to our previous discussion a while ago, I think Michael Jackson's Off the Wall was 79. So it came out before his big debut solo album. But he was
What
still
year was
famous for
Moonwalker?
Jackson 5.
What
The
year
movie
did-
Moonwalker?
80,
Is that
80 something.
because I fucking loved
Yeah.
that movie. That movie was great.
Yeah,
Mike, you got a number?
Yeah. Anyway, so you said budget potentially 24 mil.
Yeah, budget supposedly 24 mil. So what do we think this grossed at the box office?
34.
Okay. Dom, got a number?
I do.
Hit me with it.
12.6.
Wow. Dom going real low. What did you say, Todd?
To be fair, I looked it up.
Oh, 25. I said 25.
You said 25. Mike said 30 something. You said 12.6. Well, the number that I have according to Box Office Mojo is none of those numbers. It is 21.
Oh, the number that I saw was like 12.6 or 13.4.
Regardless,
That's a huge failure.
under budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can
Did it come out? Was it a TV movie or it came out in theaters? It came out in theaters, right?
It is a theater adaptation of a 1976 play.
Yeah. So
Which the play actually was very successful. I believe that it won like a handful of Tonys.
yes. I was confused at first because I didn't know that there was a separate play that was that close in time. So when I was looking stuff up earlier, I was like, at first reading that stuff, I was like, oh, this movie like had a lot of awards, and I was like, oh no, it didn't. So I think before we even get into it, I have a list here of some differences from this compared to other various versions of The Wizard of Oz, because as I watched this movie, I thought to myself, I don't know the last time I watched The Wizard of Oz, the one that everyone talks about, the
1937.
Yeah, or whatever it may be, yeah. Because I don't even think the other movies that have come out, like the ones with like James Franco, those movies are also not received well, from what I understand, right?
I think it had good reviews, but I don't think it did well.
I think they
Return
made
to
a
Oz,
second one, didn't they?
I think they did. Are they called Oz and like Return to Oz or
Return to
something?
Oz, I
Yeah,
believe.
they're also. I believe those are also based on
The book.
Baum books. Yeah.
Oh, there are more
Like,
than one book?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is a book from 1900 written by L. Frank Baum.
Oz the Great and Powerful was what it was called.
Interesting. I know I saw
It was a Return to Oz, too.
Yeah. I know I at least
That was
saw...
an 1985 Return to Oz.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I know I at least saw some of the James Franco movie, and I don't remember caring for it. But I think I also just don't care for The Wizard of Oz, because I don't know the last time I watched the other Wizard of Oz movie. So
there's only one thing I like about The Wizard of Oz, and that is I used to put it on with Dark Side of the Moon and just fucking get stoned and watch that, because it goes really... I don't know if you guys ever heard of that whole thing. You start...
Did you try it with The Wiz?
No. But after the second or third roar, you start it with Pink Floyd's album, Dark Side of the Moon, and there's so many similarities in this that it's just really strange. But that's the only thing I liked about The Wizard of Oz.
So where's my thing here? So this movie, unless you have looked it up, does anyone have a guess what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for this movie?
Oof. I did not look it up. I'm going to say 20.
20 tomato meter?
Yeah.
Do you have an audience score as well?
40.
2040, Mike?
2040.
I'm going to, before I get to any real numbers, I'm going to say that it's not fresh. It's what is it? Splat?
Rotten.
What are they?
Rotten.
Really? Why would they show a splat tomato if they call it? Well, it doesn't matter.
Oh, so Mike
So
looked
I'm
it
going
up.
to say,
Did you look it up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he was just referencing their scale.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'm just referring to the scale. I'm saying that I don't think it got fresh in either critic or audience. Audience is typically higher than critic. I would say critic is probably 20, let's say 22, and audience is maybe 37. I'm just picking numbers.
Okay. All right. Dom, you got one?
One of them is 41. I don't remember what the other one is.
Ooh, tell me I got it. Come on.
All right.
give it to
Well,
me. I'm
Dom
looking it up
is
right
correct. The tomato meter is 41, so both Mike and Todd incorrect. And the audience score, 65.
now. Oh, wow.
So
than I thought.
there's that. Critics' consensus: this workmanlike musical lacks the electricity of the stage version and its cinematic inspiration, but it's bolstered by strong performances by Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. That's what the excerpt on Rotten Tomatoes has to say about this film.
I will say, I thought Michael Jackson was good in it. I think he was a pretty decent actor.
I mean, I thought it was the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I also think...
I thought Nipsey Russell was pretty good.
Yeah.
The Tin Man.
Yeah, Tin Man was good, too. I think I was just...
Terrible. Like, with a budget of $24 million for that far back, they could have done so much better with, like the way they look. Like, not so much Michael Jackson, but the Tin Man looked like shit.
No,
like,
Michael Jackson's... I talked to Mike about this earlier. Michael Jackson looked so bad. Yes, around the neck.
He looked like trash.
No, listen, I said this to Mike. As much as I hated the Reese's peanut butter cup nose, I get the trash. He's like pulling words out of his thing. I thought that was interesting. But specifically what Todd just said, I don't know why they did that thing around his neck. It looks so bad. It's like so jarring every time it was a close-up of the Scarecrow. That I was just like, it's all I can stare at is this weird, like, shiny neck. Like, it was too bizarre. Like, just don't do that. Whatever that was, take that off. It would have been great. But I will say, I thought surprisingly, especially because that costume didn't necessarily look easy to be in. Michael Jackson was dancing very well in that. Like, he was very good in that costume. He had to have ripped that neck more than once, though. There's no way that thing didn't constantly just get like ripped off his chin, or however they glued that on or something.
Seeing Michael Jackson also made me very sad for Michael Jackson in some regards, because it's just like, we know what happened to Michael after that and like the downfall. And I was recently listening to like some podcast they were talking about his dad and how his dad basically like castrated him as a child, and like they were pumping him full of, I forget what it was, to make sure his voice never changed so he didn't hit puberty. So they were like giving him like some crazy drugs to make sure that he like never hit puberty, to make sure he'd retain that voice forever. And I was just like, oh god, that guy was like so fucked up from his father.
Yeah, Joe was not a great dad.
Yeah.
Wasn't winning any awards.
So according to the fandom page for The Wizard of Oz, The Wiz is a 1978 movie musical released by Motown Records and Universal Pictures. It is based off the successful 1975 Broadway show, as Dom had mentioned, of the same name. The film starred actress Diana Ross as Dorothy Gale, Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow, Nipsey Russell as the Tin Man, Ted Ross as the Cowardly Lion, Lena Horne as Glinda, and Richard Pryor as The Wiz. It was neither a commercial or box office success. Ray Bolger, one of the two main cast members from The Wizard of Oz, to survive into the 1980s, though adored the Broadway production, had a low opinion of the film, claiming it lacked the depth that made his film from 39 years earlier a classic. However, it is still viewed by many movie lovers as a classic. It is also considered a cult classic among the African-American community and is one of the most famous African-American family films ever made. Yeah, I mean, is it considered a classic? I can understand it being a cult classic. Is it considered a classic?
Was the world ready for this? Was the world ready for this movie when it came out, though? Like, I feel like that kind of is part of the problem of this movie being released at the time it was, because, like, I feel like our country's always been like a racist country, and I feel like we're a little bit ahead now, like, of being a little bit better. But like back then, like a movie like that, I feel like wouldn't garner a lot of response from anyone white.
But I think blaxploitation was probably big.
Yeah,
I think the point was to make a movie like about the black struggle for the black community.
I'm just I get that, but I'm saying that like I feel like no one else probably no one would even give it a chance back then, you know. Outside of it.
I don't know. You're the only one alive, Todd.
You cast Diana Ross. You cast Michael Jackson. You cast Richard Pryor. Like you got big names
the big people. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't. I guess at that point they weren't all like huge names, but
yeah.
So, I guess
that probably would that have been pre Richard Pryor getting huge?
I think it was around the time he was huge because what you said 1978.
Yeah,
it was probably the
his movies were all the 80s, right?
80s, yeah. So it was probably like the beginning.
And then it was like Michael right at the beginning of his solo career.
Yeah,
it was right before his big album.
So yeah, I mean I guess they were big names like on their upswing. So
I mean, I just quickly looked at Richard Pryor's Wikipedia page, and it seems like the 70s is when he was doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it seems like by the 80s is when maybe he was like still doing a lot of stuff, but it seems like he was already
When were
off.
his Mel Brooks movies?
What are those movies called?
Blazing Saddles.
See No Evil Here.
The first?
Blazing Saddles was
Yeah, that was
1974.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that he co-wrote Blazing Saddles.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen that movie.
Paul Mooney did too, I believe. Wasn't Paul Mooney involved in that? Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he was.
Yeah, was it that one? They did. Oh, him and Gene Wilder did another movie together, right?
According to the Wikipedia page for Blazing Saddles, it says written by Brooks, Andrew Bergman, Richard Pryor, Norman Steinberg, and Alan Uger. It doesn't mention Paul Mooney on the Wikipedia page.
Maybe I might be mistaken on that one.
So yeah, I mean, you get people. I know Mike had said that MJ didn't put out Off the Wall yet, but I think he was still probably very big at that point.
Very big. And what I was going to say before was just given the actual titular Wiz's appearance in the film, I could see it. I could see them hiring Richard Pryor for what is kind of a small role within the film, but just to kind of have a really big headliner. If the other two that we mentioned, Ross and Jackson, weren't at their actual peak yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's another name to put on the headline
for sure.
Yeah.
Are the Tin Man and Lion, are either of those actors big? Nipsey Russell and Ted Ross, are they big names? I'm not
Nipsey
sure.
Russell is a stand-up comedian of sorts. He was like on a lot of late night stuff. Okay. And then the Lion is the Lion from the Broadway show.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's interesting.
He's a Tony Award winning actor.
Hell yeah.
The Lion.
But that is also a smart choice to pull in, because if the Broadway musical was so successful, then hey, let's bring someone from that as well. Maybe pull that same audience that enjoyed the Broadway show over here.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
Real quick, is that I don't know. Like I said, I only liked the first Wizard of Oz because of what I did with it with Pink Floyd. Liam loves it, like absolutely loves the Wizard of Oz, and he loved this movie, like because the second I had him start watching it, and then the second that she goes outside and Toto's running out and everything, and in the streets, he perked up and he's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch this now, because he didn't understand what he was watching at first. I kind of like the idea of New York over the South,
Kansas,
I prefer the setting of the Wiz way more than I prefer the setting of the Wizard of Oz. And I do like it. I just think that, I don't know, special effects weren't good back then. It's really, really hard to, when she's getting sucked into the circle in the snow and everything, and it's just
the tornado is so bad. The tornado in New York is so bad. It also makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense.
A tornado. It's not a tornado. It's
just a snowstorm.
Yeah, blizzard.
Yeah. It is real bad. I will say that, also, I said this to Mike earlier, I feel like a lot of the scenes in this are, and I don't think it's on purpose, I just feel like a lot of the scenes, and I was struggling to find the right word. I wouldn't say they're scary, but it's a very darker settings, darker tones. Some of the, when they're in the fucking subway, that scene, first of all, I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then those it was
when's the last time you watched The Wizard of Oz?
No,
you said it hasn't been a while.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So the subway scene with the pillars coming out and attacking them,
and the trash cans, everything about that scene was fucking terrible.
That is the parallel scene to them being chased by the trees.
Interesting.
In The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
So it is a scary. It's supposed to be a scary scene.
Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting. I said to Mike earlier, I was like, I feel like I'm in fucking Mementos from Persona 5 with this shit. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I feel like a lot of I feel like some of the musical scenes are way too fucking long. I think the movie itself was way too fucking long. Like every time I paused it to like go to the bathroom or get a drink, I'm like, oh, I still have a long way to go. This movie
it was a long movie.
Not anywhere near done.
And like
I needed the Broadway intermission.
Yeah, it was so long, and in my mind, I thought, okay, you know what? It's this long, but I'm sure 20 minutes before the end of the movie, it'll end, and that the rest of the, like, 20 minutes is obviously too long, but, like, no, the last, like, few minutes would be the credits. No, that shit ran up until, like, the last 5 minutes.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. Same.
This was half an hour longer than the original.
Yeah, my brain was in the same space, Mike. I was like, these credits got to be coming up soon. They got to be here. Where are they at? Something that Mike and I had talked about earlier, and I stewed on it a little bit more ever since I wasn't with Mike, and I kind of still am thinking the same thing. I feel like the story doesn't have a good resolution, and like it doesn't have. Mike specifically said it doesn't have good character growth for Dorothy. Like she kind of just doesn't do anything at the end.
It's almost like they took the character growth for Dorothy out of this play, which is really bizarre. Because like in the original Wizard of Oz, it was supposed to be like her like growing up and realizing like she doesn't need to run off, like home is where she like belongs, kind of. And this one, I didn't really like. The beginning didn't really tell you anything about Dorothy. Like, she goes to a party and like that's it. She's a teacher and she goes to a party. Like
that whole party thing confused me for a second because they started setting up, and then like the matriarch of the family starts singing a song, and it was almost like I couldn't tell like is Dorothy's character not welcome here, because it seemed like the song started and the family was like having fun, and Dorothy was still running around almost like she was a servant within the house. And then after all that, the mother figure is like, oh, why don't you stop teaching at the school? Teach at a high school, go past whatever street. I'm sure that makes more sense for people that live in New York, wherever the street is. And Dorothy's like, yeah, no, I like being where I am.
By the way,
I thought the movie.
By the way, ATM is the maid from
I knew it.
Billy Madison.
Yeah, I knew it. She looks so familiar.
I'm just clearly an idiot, because when the movie opened up and they were like was it Thanksgiving dinner or was it just like a dinner? I think
it was I thought it was Thanksgiving.
The whole time I'm like, all right, I don't understand how this movie is starting this way. I'm like, maybe this is gonna transition from like Thanksgiving dinner to like someone's gonna sit down and tell a story, and then like the story is gonna be the play or whatever, or be the plot. And I was like, I don't see Michael Jackson anywhere. Like, I'm like, maybe that's not what's happening. Like, I was looking for Michael Jackson the whole time at the beginning. I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Well, that was the other thing.
That happened in the Wizard of Oz,
that happened in the Wizard of Oz. Like all the people were like just people. So when she wakes up at the end, she's like, I just had a crazy dream, and you were there, and you were there. So I was expecting that to happen. I thought,
like Lord of the Rings.
Sure, whatever.
No, in the end of Lord of the Rings, when Frodo wakes up in bed and everyone walks in.
It goes into slow motion and all the fucking...
Yes. No, hold on. You need to rewatch the scene. It was
like the second or third time that the Return of the King should have ended.
He is so excited to see everyone except for Legolas. Please watch the scene again, because he's so excited to see everyone. And when Legolas walks in, neither one of them are excited to see each other. Legolas is just like this, like no emotion, nods his head, and like Frodo goes from like Aragorn to, oh yeah, Legolas. Like, I don't know. They clearly fucked up editing that scene or something, because I don't know why.
I just watched that scene recently. It's funny you brought it up, because I just die laughing every time he's like laughing. When he's laughing in the bed, it's just so funny.
Oh, I love Lord of the Rings. Anyways, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, it's The Wiz. It's based on The Wizard of Oz. I clearly just don't like The Wizard of Oz, I think. Does anyone else have anything else they want to talk about, good or bad, about the movie? I thought it was fine. I just thought it was too long.
How do you think... Do you think that someone that directed this film would go on to make anything worthwhile?
Oh, I need to know that now. Now that you say that,
it is the director of 12 Angry Men and Dog Day Afternoon.
Stop it! Really? That's crazy.
Yes.
Sidney Lumet, whatever his name is.
That is crazy, because I wasn't sure if it's just me being a person who A, doesn't watch musicals and definitely doesn't watch older films like that. I felt there was a lot of weird directional choices, just like the way the movie was shot, that it just seemed odd to me. Like it seemed off, and I still never figured out the words I could quite use to describe it.
A lot of big movies.
Yeah.
Like, besides,
do you know who wrote the screenplay for this?
Who?
Joel Schumacher.
Well, I think he's a horrible director, but.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder where these this went wrong. Maybe, I don't know. I think if this was a shorter film, it might maybe. I don't know. I feel like movies back then. Also, Jen and I were actually literally having a conversation about this the other day. Movies back then were like more of a big deal, like going to a movie. So like maybe a long movie wasn't a bad thing, but like. I don't know. A long, bad movie, not my jam.
Well, I feel like... So, first off, I will say that I don't think this movie was bad. I don't think the music numbers, like, all grabbed me the way that they probably should have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It wasn't written for me.
No, there was some good music in there. Like, there was some good... like, whatever the song...
There were a couple. Ease on Down the Road is a jam. It is.
Ease on Down the Road is when they're like when she first gets Scarecrow and they walk. That's that's a banger. I also liked the Tin Man song.
The Nipsey Russell song is a good one. Yep.
Like that Tin Man song. I said it to, I don't know if I said it to the group or just to Dom, but like that's sampled in a lot of hip hop stuff, including a Nas song that I really like. So like when he started singing that song, I was like, wait, what? I was like, what's going on right now? Because I'm just like, I'm so very familiar with the beginning of that song because it's how that Nas song starts off. Anyways, I thought the music was good in a lot of parts.
Yeah, I guess for such a long movie, I needed every song to hit.
Be banger,
to like keep me going. Yeah. And like Ease on Down the Road was pretty early in the movie. And then they meet the Tin Man. There. And then it was like, there was like a couple of good like songs later on that like weren't like, all right, this gets me back in it, but I don't know. Overall, like I don't think the movie was bad. It like I feel like there was a lot of like symbolism and stuff. There was a lot of weird symbolism. Having the Good Witch be
bookie
was like, I don't know what message you're trying to relay here. And then having the Munchkins be like graffiti art at the beginning was weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that was honestly,
like,
that was another thing where I was like, I felt like there were scenes in the movie that, again, not necessarily like scary, but it was more like I'm assuming this is supposed to be a movie that like children would enjoy, and I feel like
it's a family film.
Yeah, I feel like that scene when she goes to that first area of Oz or whatever, and it's like not only is the costume design questionably like unnerving, but it's like they're popping out of the wall and shit. I'm like, this is bizarre. Like this is not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like kids may. I don't know. I feel like if I was a kid, I'd be like, what the fuck's happening right now?
When I watched that scene, I texted Mike and I was like, this reminds me of Us.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
I get that. Yeah.
The hands across
like
America.
The movie Ice.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
Ice, or...
Us.
Yeah. Yeah, I said Ice. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I didn't hate the movie. Like, it obviously like had a lot of weird symbolism that is probably outdated at this point.
Yeah.
But it still it still has messages in there that can still be related to today. Like the Scarecrow song, or the Crow song, I guess, is like a message that can still be portrayed. Like don't let like somebody tell you how to think, essentially.
Right.
I just have a hard time with musicals in general. It's very rare you're gonna get. Although like, well, we can get into the next one after this, but yeah, it's very hard to get me to like musicals because, we'll talk. There's a lot I have to talk about.
I feel like musicals are tough unless like 50 to 75% of the songs are bangers.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're like, why are they singing this? Like I don't need to listen to this.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
It is
You didn't need to
like
listen to a song. You could have just had a couple.
it is like the epitome of what the It's Always Sunny episode about The Wiz is like talking about. Like, why are we singing this?
What are the rules?
Yeah.
What are the rules?
That's why I think I struggle with a lot of musicals in general.
Same.
Does anyone else have anything else they want to say about The Wiz before we wrap this up?
A couple quick things
Get 'em
that
in there.
I had mentioned to you earlier that aren't really major things, just things that bother me. Number one, the Wicked Witch. I felt, again, haven't
Wicked
seen
Witch
the
at the
Wizard of Oz
end?
very. Huh?
The Wicked Witch from the end? The
Yes.
sweatshop witch?
Yes. So it's been a while since I watched the original Wizard of Oz, and I felt that the analogous Wicked Witch of the West had more of a presence within that film. So in this one, where she was
Yes,
throughout the film, in this one,
Throughout
where
the
like
film,
she's
yeah.
barely there. In this one, she's like barely in it. She shows up at the very end, sings a song, and then is quickly disposed of. I was like,
yeah, I agree with that completely. Yes, she was
It's
more of a
Mama
menacing
from What's
presence.
Happening, by the way.
Like in the original, she's more of a menacing
start singing
presence.
the song
Like, you
again.
know, like remember in the original, like the Wicked Witch of the West is like while the tornado's going around, she's on the broom, like menacingly, you know, like
Yeah.
flying
Well,
around.
because they foreshadowed her being evil because because Dorothy knew her from the
yeah,
neighborhood.
because she hated the dog
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, like the dog. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then speaking of the dog, another like not important point, but at the beginning of the film, this whole thing starts off because Toto runs off and Dorothy runs after him because she's trying to protect him. And then throughout the rest of the film, I felt as though, you know what? This all started because you lost track of your dog. You should be holding on to Toto more often.
No.
Far too often,
Toto
I'm
ran
just
off.
like
Toto ran off so many times in the movie.
just so many times I'm like watching them.
At one point, she was like, "Toto, go get those crows," and she just books it.
Yeah, there were so many times where I'm like, oh, you guys are in immediate danger. You should probably have your dog right now. But like the whole subway thing, I'm just like, so where's the dog?
Yeah. Or like you're on an active roller coaster. Where is your dog?
Yeah. Where's your dog? You get a leash. I know you don't have a leash on you. This was not planned, but keep better track of your dog. Mm-hmm. That's all I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I had something else from the very stereotypical biker monkeys was unsettling to me. I did not understand that choice. I did not understand that choice at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're not doing flying monkeys. What do you want to do? I don't know.
Biker mice from Mars.
Make them bikers with really big lips.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I didn't hate. No, I don't know. The movie. I just think the movie could have been tightened up, trim down some of the songs, make the movie a little bit shorter. Would have been a lot more palatable. I think you'd see a lot more people watching that movie with their kids again. I don't know. That's all I got. Anyone else got?
I don't know. It was big enough. 10 years ago that they did it again on
That's true.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's enough of an audience, or they think there's enough of an audience.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I definitely think that it's the same. I don't know. I don't want to put things into.
I shouldn't say that because the play is still big. So I don't know if that's.
Is the play still going on, like on Broadway?
I don't think currently it is.
Yeah.
But that may have been an anniversary year for it.
So, with that being said, are we done with The Wiz?
You like just end it.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So before we wrap this up, though, because we're doing a double feature, doesn't mean we're not only doing one What's in the Box. So this episode will end the way they all do with What's in the Box. If you're just listening for the first time or you don't know what What's in the Box is, What's in the Box is a game where I pull 3 games off my shelf. I read them, the back of the box to the panel. They have to guess what the game is. First person to get it right gets the point. The scoreboard as it stands for 2022 is Dom and Todd tied in first place with 9 points. Mike very close behind with 7 points. I got 2 stumps. Odell Harmon Jr., friend of the show, has 1 point. Ken Shepard, friend of the show, has 2 points. Without further ado, game number 1 of What's in the Box. For this game, you do need the full title. The ultimate blank blank race is on. With 3 ways to play, blank blank has never been better. Win cups solo style, battle wireless buddies, or take on pals anywhere in the world over the blank blank blank.
Mario Kart 9.
Mario Kart 8.
What you said 8 and
Mario
you said
Kart 8
9.
Deluxe.
I said 8.
I said
He
9.
said 9.
Yeah, Mario Kart 9 is not a game, and
No.
To be fair, Mike said Mario
Deluxe.
Mike said
Yeah.
Deluxe, so
you are all incorrect.
Mario Kart 7.
Incorrect.
What was the
Mario Kart
Mario Kart Wii.
Incorrect.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Incorrect.
Let's go.
Total shell tossing mayhem, frantic speed, crazy new items, multiple carts per character, an all new mission mode. Take this.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
You already said that. It is not right
What's
this
the
second.
what's the iPhone game?
I don't know.
An all new mission
Imagine you
mode.
get a box for that?
Take this.
I know.
Make this a blank blank fan's dream. Over 30 courses, tour brand new tracks and battle arenas, as well as favorite courses from every blank blank game in the series. Race your friends over the internet with up to 4 carts at once, or have 8-player free-for-alls with 1 game card using local wireless.
Mario Kart DS?
I was just going to say that's
gets
definitely what it is.
the
100%.
point.
Bro, we played so
Boom!
much of that.
I know.
Man.
I was starting to stop thinking about Mario Kart games because he kept doing blank
same.
blank, and I was like, we know it's Mario Kart.
I know, but I don't want to give it to you.
I was
You
like,
gotta.
I was like, do any of the other games use shells? Does
I was
Diddy
thinking
Kong
of
Racing
Sonic,
use
right?
shells?
Yeah. Right.
For the second game, you also need the full title.
Just start working yourself up from Mario Kart, the first Super Mario Kart. Just keep going.
Mario Kart 1, Mario Kart 2, Mario Kart 3, Mario Kart... Wait.
Blank is back and powered up.
Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time.
No.
Oh,
I was
also
also going to say Crash.
The blank 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 are going into space to fight the blank blank blank. Have a blast. Play all 8 colorful team members. All new stages and mechanics. Challenge players from all over the world in classic battle mode. Up to 8 players in battle mode with online and local play. Face huge bosses in exciting battles.
It's hard to go from like movies, talking about movies, and now I'm like my brain's
Yeah,
switching to
it's-
video games, and I'm just like, it's
Star
tough.
Fox Adventures?
No. That's the whole back of the box.
Go back. You blanked it all
Can you
out.
do the beginning again?
Blank
Something
is
back.
back and powered up. The blank 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 are going into space to fight the evil Emperor blank.
Zerg. It's Toy Story 3.
No.
Bang.
Here,
I do have
you
a
know what?
box for that.
You know what? I will read that sentence again, and I will omit 2 more words.
There you go.
The super blank Rangers are going into space to fight the evil Emperor blank.
Super.
You need the full title for this game.
Blank is back. The Super Blank Rangers.
Blank is back and powered up. Play all 8 colorful team members. All new stages and mechanics. Up to 8 players in battle mode with online and local play. Face huge bosses in exciting battles.
Huge bosses. That's what I'm trying to like figure out.
Challenge players from all over the world in classic battle mode. Have a blast.
Super Bomberman.
I hate that all I'm
You know
thinking
how
of
those
is
games
Nintendo
work.
games right now. Like, I feel like we're not like saying that it's all Nintendo games, but right now my brain's like, oh, it's another Nintendo game.
I can tell you that this is on a Nintendo console, but it is not Nintendo exclusive.
Yeah.
Boy. I don't know that I know it, but I feel like I should know it.
I'm gonna say Super Bomberman R because Mike didn't finish that title.
I was waiting for Mike to finish the title. Mike, you're right
You think
there.
I know the name of Bomberman games?
Mike,
Sorry, Mike.
Mike,
Sorry, Mike.
Did I know the name?
To do it because you did it last week. You started a sentence and never finished it.
Also, Mike, I'm pretty sure.
finish it.
Did you not buy this game when the Switch came out? It was a launch title.
I bought it.
I did too.
You think
I didn't even know there was bosses in it.
Brenden, do you remember I bought it because I didn't plan to buy a Switch and I figured I was going to walk out the store with one. I should probably buy a game. And I only had two options.
That game
you bought Breath of
either,
the Wild and you bought Bomberman.
I bought Bomberman, and guess what? I played neither one of them.
All right.
I don't know how they bought Bomberman like that. That game wasn't good.
It was all right. It wasn't the best. All right. Final game of episode 302? Yeah.
Wasn't 300 last?
Huh?
Wasn't 300 last or no?
No.
Am I wrong?
No. You need, again, the full title of this game. Who will you become? Beginning as a penniless street urchin, your destiny...
Aladdin.
No.
What did you say?
He said Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Your destiny
He's the penniless street urchin.
is to become blank's greatest hero. But will your power lie in kindness or cruelty? Choose your own path to glory and experience how these choices change you and the world forever. A new
Fable 1 or 2.
What did you say, Mike?
I said Infamous.
No. What did you say, Todd?
I said Fable 1 or 2 because I don't know if it was one of those games or not.
All right, we need to change the rules. You can't.
No, it's fine because I would have never gotten to Fable.
I know both of those games are so similar in that like you have to like do that stuff that like I just don't know if I would ever be able. What's the difference between those two games as far as like overarching story or anything? There really isn't.
Yeah, but I think we need to. I know we talked about it last week. I think we need to
I don't
make
have a problem with that.
No, that's fine. He got it, but I think we need to come up with some sort of like when you say something, you have to wait 10 seconds before you say something else because like let's say with Mario Kart, it could have easily just turned into
Because so no one knew that basic. Even Dom said he wouldn't have known that. So I said
I
Fable 1.
have guessed. Yeah.
Fable 2.
I would have said Fable 2 after you said
Well,
Fable.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes it more pressure that you can't just blurt things out. You have to think about shit. Am I going to say Mario Kart 7 right now? Because if I say Mario Kart 7 and it's wrong, maybe Mike's going to say Mario Kart 8. Maybe Dom's going to say Mario Kart Wii or something. Like I feel like it adds a layer
Or
of.
you could just be like Mike and say the first half of a game.
Yeah.
Again, I can name series. It doesn't mean I know that I wouldn't. When you pick a Halo game, I could maybe name a lot of them if they have numbers at the end, or if they're Reach.
The week has been basically kept the same as Dom and Todd stay at 10 points and Mike stays 2 behind at 8. So everyone got a point this week. Well, this episode.
I have zero confidence these days going into this. I'm just like, I feel like my mind's just blank.
Well, now
blank.
It's not that I have run out of easier things. I'm avoiding picking easier items for now because I'm trying to see where we can get.
I think that's good though. That's cool. I like that though.
And I'll filter in an easy one once in a while. A gimme that everyone's gonna be like, shit, I should have said fucking whatever. But anyways,
no,
go ahead.
I never played Fable 2. I only played Fable 3. But
I only played 1 and 2 way back when they came out. So like I honestly can't tell you much about either of those games. That's why I'm excited for the new one because like I can't wait to play those games again.
With where games are at right now, the new one will probably be incredible.
I can't wait. Yeah, that could potentially end up being like a big game for everyone. Before I wrap things up, we are into March. The PTC Movie Club for March is Todd's pick. It was the Katamari Damacy.
Ghoulies.
No,
it was Ghoulies.
what is it? What is it called?
Gross Point
Blank. So watch Gross Point Blank. We'll talk about it at the end of the month. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 302. But we will be right back with episode 303 to talk about The Greatest Showman. As always, you can find everything we do at Pass the Controller. You can find us all on Instagram or Twitch or whatever at Pass Controller. You can find me at BRoom. You can find Mike at _MichaelPath. You can find Todd at Toddy_by_nature. You can find Dom at PTC_OneLittleSpark. And again, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 302. We'll see you soon.